Hey everybody, getting ready to move my refrigerator from the corner over here to about over here. We have plans for it. Over in the corner of this side of the refrigerator hit the wall and we can never open it up all the way. So we're finally doing this. We need to replace that hose with a longer one, about 20 feet long. I want to route it underneath the baseboard over there. We're going to put another cabinet in here, and I'll probably put a baseboard across that bottom. Alright, but I want to show you under here now. It's kind of not so bright in there. Alright, I did have a flashlight someplace. Don't know where it went. But that's the area right there. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer. It'll be brighter when I make the next part of this video. So that whole fixture down there where the hose comes up in there, alright, it needs to be replaced because it does leak. When I went to shut it to turn it off, it leaked water, and you don't need that leaking water at all. Now the kit is about $10 at the local hardware store. This is 25 foot polytube, okay, ice maker kit. That's what we're going to look for. So for 25 foot, $10 is not bad. Okay, used with water only. All right, and it's a 1/4 inch tube. It comes with the kit, with all the materials needed, and it even gives you some directions too. All right, so it's all we're doing is going to replace this, put all new hardware in. Going to run the line, like I said, through the baseboard, and put it right into this part here. Goes to the actual back of the refrigerator. Alright, so all the hardware is being replaced with brand new tubes. So that should make the water a little bit fresher, at least, I think, through the original tube. And we have some more fittings that go in, and this guy right here of the instructions tell you how all these fittings go together. Now if you want, you can practice a little bit. Now this is the way the unit came, so we're going to take this and pull it off. Mine does not take the metal one. This is a universal kit, so we're going to use this guy to go in. So the first thing you're going to do is you're doing a trial run. You're just learning how to do this. So you pop this guy on. It has to be threads down because that's what's going to screw on the thing. This has a narrow end toward my index finger. All right, so that narrow end is going to go toward the opening. We're going to take this guy, shove him down inside. We're going to push it. We're pushing as we're screwing down. All right. I'm putting pressure on the hose as we push it in there. All right, we're going to snug it down real good. I am still putting pressure on the hose. All right, we're going to take this guy and we're going to crank it. Still, now we're loose on the hose, but we got to keep it in there. So we need to tighten this guy down. And when we tighten it down, it's in there nice and snug. That is not coming out. So that's what we want to do underneath the sink and in back of the refrigerator. That's our trial run. All right. So now we can take it apart, and just like we put it together, you're not damaging anything. All right, and now we can go ahead and do the replacement because now we know how to do it. Now I want to show you that if you're putting this in for the first time, you don't already have one in your system, no tools are required, so you don't even have to shut off the water. What's going to happen, you're going to have these real loose, and you're going to wrap this around the pipe like we're going to do. Only one of these have to come off because you can swivel it and then bring it around the pipe. Bring it on the pipe and you start screwing down. This is going to pierce the pipe. This rubber right here is your insulation or your seal. Okay, so you don't have any leaks. So while this is tightened down around the pipe, you're not going to get any leaks. My leaks right now on the existing one that I have is coming from somewhere in here, somewhere inside this when I'm unscrewing this guy. So on a new one, what I want to do is I want to have, when I go to replace it, I'm going to have this turned all the way in so I can find the hole where this is going to go in. Alright, the first step is put a cup down there to catch any water that might come out of that. Alright, turn this off clockwise and shut off the water and back up. If you have an old one installed, you want to back it out all the way. Alright, so it's going to be counterclockwise. So the pin doesn't stay inside the pipe. All right, and then we'll go back of the refrigerator now. So take a screwdriver or a nut driver and back this off, but not all the way. We're going to go ahead and take this guy off. We have a cup here to catch any water that might come out of this. Now, mind you, that in this case, this guy, let's swing around. That's the lowest point, that's where most of the water is going to happen, but we want to catch as much as we can by lifting this part up as high as we can to have it drain out over here. Okay, and we're going to try draining it underneath the sink too. Now mind you, I am not a plumber, and I've never done this before, at least to my recollection. And I'm just a normal homeowner, so I just want to show you that anybody can actually do this. I do have the ice maker turned off. Alright, I just, all I did was loosen it up, and now I'm going to back it off with my fingers. Water will come out once that unseats. Once that little thing unseats, I'm going to push it right over here. Not too much water at all came out. Alright, so the hose is running around the camera. Alright, it is a little moist here. I'm going to take this screw out. Okay, I have the screw on the ground now. And we're going to put this down here. And I'm going to reach around the camera. I'm going to bump the camera, I know I am. I'm going to lift this up. And really no water came out. So I think this is safe. I think all the water just kind of sucked out when I shut it off. And that's pretty sweet that it did that. Okay, so remember how this is put back together, because this is how you want to configure the new one to go on top of that. If you're going to leave this open overnight, put something over that piece of foil or something so no lint, dust, or anything gets down inside your water source. Now after you get this thing off the refrigerator, you want to save this guy here. Alright, now notice that it's curved up on both sides so it doesn't cut into this. So just take it and spread it, and then push it back over it. Alright, we're going to keep this, and don't forget when it goes on, it's going to be the flat side of this up against the refrigerator. Alright, got my little camera underneath there with the flashlight. Flashlight is to my right and the camera's to my left. Alright, so that's all dust you see off of that. So now we need to get this off first. There's a lot of echo in here, so underneath the sink. So I'm going to unscrew this. This is the knob that I turned clockwise to shut off the water supply. Alright, so I want to unscrew this. Alright, here we go. Well, as fast as we can, we want to get it into, water just went down. Well, I saw the air go down. So the water's at the lowest part underneath. It's going to be a little leaky over there. So that's just something we're going to have to put up with. Okay, so I'm going to get the cup out of the way. Alright, I want to show you this over here. This should, we should be able to move this down. And it's got the same kind of thing we're going to be using. It's got a little meld thing inside. Okay, inside that one, so we need to put one on the new one, and that's the water supply that's going to go into this. Next thing is we're going to get this out of the way. Might actually pull that off in order to pull the hose through. We need to get this guy off. So we need to push, and if the nut in the back is moving, which it's not, okay, so we should be able to slide this guy right off. Okay, and I can't get two hands back here, so this is going to be a lot of fun. But keep working at this. You got to get this guy off. I'll show you. That's the hole right there that it makes to get the supply to go up to the refrigerator. Okay, so got the old one off. All right, so that's about it on that. So now we got to get the new one on. Now you want to take one screw out, one of the nuts out, and you want to wrap this around. Okay, so we need to get this guy pushed out. Like I said, this is really hard to do, and I took the camera away before because I just don't want to damage it if something happens. So what we want to do is loosely put this on. Unless you're putting this on for the first time and you're going to puncture that hole, we don't want to put a separate hole in. So as you see, I'm having a good old time trying to get this thing on. You know, if you're a big guy like me, take the door off underneath the sink so you can wrap around and get in there. With that door on, it was in the way, I couldn't get around. Oh man, with 56-inch chest and the shoulders, it's just hard as heck to get in with both. I have it kind of in there, I just need to tighten it all down. So I'm going to try and leave this here while I do this. Just gonna aim it down. Okay, I have it in the hole. Just a lot of fun. Get the old one out of the way here. Alright, and when we keep this, you know, you want to make sure you push up against, move up and down, make sure you're in that hole. Alright, we want to tighten these guys down. You got to try and hold that guy in the back still. You want to tighten it until you can't tighten it anymore. You want to wrap around, really hug that pipe. You're not going to bend the pipe, so don't worry about that. Alright, just tighten that guy down as much or more than what the other one was tightened down. And that's not moving around, that's not doing anything. We don't want to do a leak check now because water will just spout right out of that thing. So, time to run the hose. We got to grab that hose again. Oh my goodness, where is it? There it is. You get this hardware off the end. So right now, I just got a pair of scissors. We're going to cut this guy, hold the top, because we don't want it to go anywhere. Just cut it, and now that'll fit through. This is the same way it has to be pulled through again. So the fun part is going to be fishing the other one out up here. So it shouldn't be a problem at all, but we'll see what happens. We're going to use this as a guideline on how to build up the other one. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this out. It's going to be a little messy because this is the lowest part of the whole thing. So as soon as you get it out, hold it up. Hold it up. Okay, so you want to grab both ends and hold it up. Alright, and we're going to take it over the sink and drain it out. Alright, so now we're going to do repeat what we did on training over on the table. Put the thread sides toward this, the small side toward the end. Alright, we're going to put this down inside here. We're going to slide that in, we're going to slide that down. This on time, we're putting pressure on the hose. Pressure is on the hose. We're going to tighten this down. Pressure is still on the hose, pushing down. Look at our tool. We're still pushing down. Alright, and we're going to do clockwise for tightening. You don't want to muscle it because you don't want to break it off. Alright, pull up and you're good. Alright, now we're going to take our clamp here and get the screw out of it. Alright, we need to put our clamp to where it's going to be like this. So put our clamp on there, push that in, put that in there, that goes straight up like this. We're going to take this guy and push it in and screw it down. Catch a couple of threads and you can take your screwdriver and just screw it all the way in, and that'll be it. I want to show you something over here. Now, like I said, I have 25 foot of tubing there. I probably just need 20 foot to get the back of the fridge over into the center. So rather than clipping it off, because we might move it a little bit out, in, and all that good stuff, there's a little ring up here I can put the hose through. And that's something good. So the hose isn't laying on the ground. It could be up against the refrigerator over here. So I'm not going to clip it. And if I do need to clip it, I just unscrew it from there and clip it and put it right back in just the way I showed you. Now I did it from this side for a reason. Just if you look at how this is done, where it goes in the hole there, and if you looked underneath this thing, all the way back there, underneath the bottom part, the flooring of that, it's just a pain in the rear trying to thread it from this way going underneath. So it'd be a lot easier, I think, going in that way and coming in underneath and pulling it. You can just reach your hand down there and grab it. That's just an idea for you. Okay, do yourself a favor and clean up the floor, because once this is on inside on the ground, this will be laying on the floor. It's going to be hard to clean underneath it. So make sure you get that. Now, another thing is where this is touching and going in, there's probably going to be a lot of junk on the end of this. So we're going to cut off about probably 6 inches of this before you hook it up to the other end. So go ahead and stick it in there. And we're going to put a lot in there because it gives us more to grab on the other side. Now the only downfall here is all the twisting. All this twisting that's going on. I got to keep checking inside, outside to do this. So Now to go inside and see if I can actually catch that tube and pull it the rest of the way through. Alright, so now I'm reaching down and looking for it, and hopefully be able to find it somewhere. I don't feel it, so I need to twist it around. I had to reach way up underneath to get it, and I managed to. That was a lot of fun. So I'm taking about 4 inches off to make it a straight cut across, because I don't want to take a chance of contamination of the water from it doing, you know, all the stuff that is underneath. I'm going to put this fitting on underneath. Okay, put this in. Remember the threads toward the top. Okay, the narrow end toward the top. All right, and put the piece in here the only way it'll go. It'll stop like that. So now we're going to go in the top. I need to bring the camera around, I think, so you can actually see this. And make sure you can actually see this. Okay, so we're going to go in. Whoa, 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 stay in there. That almost came out. Sorry about that with the camera. Go in, push this guy down, push this down. We need to take our wrench. I need to get the camera out of the way now. Crunch this thing down. It's tough with the camera in the way. Alright, now we have a connection on both sides. Alright, we want to make this good and snug. We don't want to over tighten it. So make that good and snug. Tug on this, it should not come out. Okay, when we turn this water on, there should be no spraying of any kind any place. Okay, so turn this guy on. Watch for the spraying any around there, up against the pipe. Okay, there's no moisture, nice and dry. We haven't opened this valve yet. Okay, so now we need to go make sure the other side, over here. Okay, we're going to be checking for leaks on this side too. Alright, got my glasses out of the way. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn it on. This is the time of truth. So counterclockwise turn on. You see the water going through. I hear a hiss. No water coming out here. Alright, let's look over here. Oh, we got a leak here. We got to turn it off. Fastest way to turn it off is right here. We got a leak right here. So grab your ShamWow, your cloth, whatever it is. It's sprayed all the way up on top. Just clean it up real good. So this is where our leak is. So we gotta work on that leak. That's the whole purpose of a leak check. Now this is something that was not in the other one, another hose. So I'm going to put one of these things in on this side. All right. Put it over, and maybe that'll give some more, ability to lock down. So I'm going to just do the same thing. Put it on the top of it, and screw it down. Something that happened though is I dropped my screw down in there for this clamp, so I'm going to have to get another screw for it. It's a sheet metal screw. All right. Let's turn the water back on now. Let's see what happens. Okay, water's all the way on. No leaks over here. No leaks here. If I take a paper towel and just check that, I need to put a screw in this though. It's going to be over on that side. So no leaks, that's just wet from before. Pull the screw all the way out. Well, let's see, if it had water already, I think this is turning it all the way in. So water should be in there already, so let's go bleed it. Okay, now you're saying bleeding. What's bleeding? Let's take a cup, go to the front of the refrigerator. Oh, I just stepped on all that stuff down there. And that's ice, let's get some water. So there might be some air that comes through there. So evidently there's some water left in this. Okay, so that's actually very clean. I don't see any leaks, nothing spewing up, so that's pretty good. I want to pull some of that slack out underneath and just have one loop, and that's just basically dressing it up. So now I'll use that harness up holder up there for some of the wire too. But this is ready to be completely installed. So hopefully you like the video. It's one thing I don't like doing is extending an existing line. You know, just like in when you're splicing wires, and let's say you have a broken wire and you want to put a piece in between, and now you have two splices there. That's multiple places where it can fail. So if you put a splice in this to extend the hose, it's just another place where it can leak, and you just don't want to create that. Okay. So hopefully you like the video. Subscribe if you want, share, and take care. Bye.